guys, welcome back to my channel. Or, well, no, welcome back. I don't know why I said welcome back. I don't think anyone's coming back, but welcome to my channel. Today I'm filming all the books I read in January and February of this year. Last week I sadly missed an upload because I got stranded in Australia due to the World War III. So yeah, I'm only just back and I'm feeling quite jet lagged, so bear with me. But yeah, I want to talk about the books I've read over the past 2 months. I mean, it's literally like the 15th of March now and I literally got back on Monday. No, it's the 12th of March, Thursday the 12th of March, and I got back on Monday. So yeah, I really need to get back on the bandwagon and get things moving. So yeah, I feel like I don't know how well I am at speaking. So I don't know how eloquent these reviews will be, but I'm going to try my best, because that's all I can do, yay! I've got a few, excuse the fact that I'm literally like halfway through unpacking, because then I got really distracted and bored and then I just wanted to do something different, so hence why my room is a literal tip. I've not even shut the wardrobe. Jesus, I'm really prepared for this video. But yeah, I started writing some notes about the books and then I just got bored halfway through, so I'm just gonna fucking go off the dome and just hope for the best. I'm gonna say in order of the books that I read. I'm supposed to be reading 8 books a month to get my reading goal of 100 books. Honey, I'm behind. In January I read 7 books, supposed to be reading 8, and in February I read 6, but that's because I was on holiday with my friends for 2 weeks that turned into 3. So yeah. Right, so the first book I read in January was Bear Town, which is the literary fiction about basically a small Swedish town where all their economy and stuff is based around their hockey team. It's a very small town, everyone knows everyone, and this hockey team basically just like the core of the town, and so they obviously want the hockey team to do well because all their money comes from it. So then there's something mad happens to do with one of the hockey players, and I don't want to spoil it and I really don't know how to word this eloquently, but what happens splits up the town in 2, and kind of is basically the outcome of that, and just it's kind of just studying like humans and the human condition and just the way people react to things and what their priorities are, and basically good versus bad and all that malarkey. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. One thing I will say is it's so character driven. Like his writing style is so unique, like the most unique thing probably the most unique writing style I've ever read. I feel like if I read a book by him without knowing who it was, I'd know it's by him just from reading one book, because he writes about kind of the things that you don't think about. Instead of his writing being so obvious, he writes about the in-between things that make up a person, if you know what I mean. Like, not the obvious things, the things about the way they move, just things that me as a person who doesn't notice anything wouldn't notice. It's so impressive, like the way he writes. I've never read anything like it. So he literally builds fully fledged characters in a way that I've never read before. Like, I think he writes the most realistic characters of any author I've ever read. That's a bold statement, but like, I actually do. However, because he explains it instead of just like telling you, show don't tell basically, he shows you rather than telling you. So he'll describe a massive paragraph about a feeling that you would never think to write in that way, but he does it so well, and it's like so poignant and like, wow, like how has he thought to write it in that way? But for me, I like a bit of plot, like a plot driven book more, I'd say. So I found myself getting a bit taken out of the story by how every single paragraph was basically very slow paced, intricate. Everything was so intricate, whereas I just need tell me so I can just get through it. So I found it easy to put down and stuff, but I can see why it's so well loved, because of the way he writes in such a unique way. Like, yeah, so incredible. But for me, not for me. I don't think I'll be continuing the series. I gave it a 4 stars just because of how blown away I was with the writing, but because I wasn't that gripped to the story, yeah, I don't know if I'll be continuing it, because I feel like I've got so many other books that will probably be more of my street. One thing about me is I like brain rot reads rather than like intellectual reads, so I wish I could appreciate those types of books more, but I don't think I could appreciate it as much as some other people could. Okay, the next book that I read in January was Nobody's Girl, which is Virginia Giuffre, who is Jeffrey Epstein's most outspoken victim. her memoir, and I didn't rate it. Well, at the time I rated it, but like, and now upon reflection, like, I don't think I should rate it. So I'm just gonna say that I didn't rate it, but I loved it. It was an amazing book, and it's not just for people who read. Like, I think anyone could read it, like, and get through it. I'd recommend it to someone who doesn't want to read, doesn't read, because it's so gripping and it's actually unbelievable what she's been through. Like, it's horrendous. Truly is so sad. But obviously, like, read the trigger warnings and stuff. Definitely would recommend to anyone, even people who don't read. Punk 57, Gear Shift again. I rated it 3 stars. So basically it's so not that good, not to be fair. So basically it's about this pair who get put together doing pen pals in school, and her name is, it's a unisex name and his name is a unisex name, so they get muddled up by their teachers, and the teachers both think they're the same sex. So they basically chat to each other, and they're basically best friends for like the whole childhood, but they don't know who each other are. And then this boy, oh, it's so ridiculous, it's the most ridiculous thing ever. But basically they meet in real life, and he hates her for kind of just like not that much of a reason, like he just doesn't like her, but he knows it's her but she doesn't know it's him. What I don't understand, so he stopped talking to her after a while, after like about 8 months before they met. He stopped replying to all the text messages because his sister dies, and he doesn't reply to her, and then she just like doesn't check that he's alive. Like, I know that they wanted to keep it just on pen pals, but if you think, oh, he might have died, I think you'd Google him just to make sure he's still alive and stuff, and then she'd find out who it is. But yeah, and then they basically start shagging and stuff, and then they find out that, I'm just telling you the whole plot, but it's like so predictable that like it doesn't even matter that I'm telling you the plot. Obviously they find out that it's each other, and then they fall in love and blah blah blah, and they sail off into the sunset. But yeah, I wouldn't really recommend it that much. It's naff, like it was very stupid, silly, far-fetched, and yeah, I really liked Birthday Girl by Penelope Douglas, which I read a few years ago, and I want to reread it because I absolutely gobbled it up. But I'm interested to see what I would think now, because Punk 57, like, it was not good. It was not good. Like, yes, it was brain rot, and I usually, like, that's why I gave it 3 stars, because like I kind of ate it up, but upon reflection, no bueno, no bueno. So yeah, I wouldn't really recommend that one. I didn't enjoy it too much. It would probably be like 2 stars if I really thought about it. And then I read after that Diabound, which is a fantasy romance that I think it came out last year, and everyone compared it to Fourth Wing, so I thought I want to read it because I love Fourth Wing. It's my favourite fantasy romance book, probably, apart from A Court of Silver Flames. Cassian. I read the Diabound book and I absolutely loved it because it's a carbon copy of Fourth Wing, like it is. There's no denying it, like it's so alike, but that's exactly what I hunt for, like that feeling of Fourth Wing, the first Fourth Wing book. Oh my god, it's so good. So I love Diabound. The MMC was really fit. He was, I think I read it at the exact right time. I really wanted to read it for ages because I'd heard it was like Fourth Wing. I was just craving reading it, and then I loved it. Like, I'm really excited for the next book, which I feel like maybe that'll like change, like go away from the Fourth Wing lightness, which hopefully it'll be better than Iron Flame. But yeah, I loved it, but if I was Rebecca Yarros, I would probably be quite annoyed because a bit of a carbon copy. But yeah, basically there's no point me explaining the plot because it's very, very much similar to Fourth Wing. But basically this girl is in a relationship with this guy in her town, then her sister goes missing, and I'm literally trying to remember because every time I read a book it's just in one ear and out the other. But and then her sister goes missing, and so she is like, who the fuck has taken my sister? So I can't remember if she enrolls or I'm really tired and I can't remember, but basically she ends up being drafted into, oh no, she enrolls in the army to get to the front lines, to get close to her sister, because these kids have been going missing, and loads of kids have been going missing, and then her sister goes missing, blah 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 blah. And she goes to the army, and then it happens to be, oh, this year is the Diabound pairing competition, mating thing. So basically it's like how it is in Fourth Wing, where they compare sorry, I'm expecting everyone to have read Fourth Wing, but not many, like, they might not have, but I don't know why I'm just saying it. Basically, so she enrolls in the military, ends up being in these fucking mating diabound things. So, oh my god, I can't remember. So there's like these massive dogs that are like massive wolves, like huge, and you've got to have a bond with them. You've got to find a bond with them, and if you don't, you die. So she walks up this massive mountain, and on the top of the mountain there's all these bloody wolves, and hopefully she mates with one. And then if she does mate with one, she ends up going to the military academy to compete in more stuff, so she can graduate, so she can get to the front line, so she can save her sister. But obviously shit goes down. There's a sexy AF man that is in it, and he's probably the highlight of the whole book. But it is a really good plot, to be fair. It's very gripping. I mean, it's perfect for me who doesn't read a lot of fantasy romance, because it's so easy to understand and stuff like that. But I feel like if you read a lot, you'd probably think it's fucking carbon copy and be bored of it. But I, for one, did not. I enjoyed it. So yes, I very much liked that one. And that was a 5-star, because I genuinely was obsessed with it. I mean, it's not 6-star, it is a 5-star. And it's earned its rightful place on my bookcase, which only goes to very special books. I can't wait for the next one, which is coming out in this year, because it's left on a bit of a madness, to be fair. Face Off by Chelsea Curto. So this is a hockey romance, which I was astonished at how close it was to Windy City. Like, I don't know who wrote what first, but Windy City is like my favourite romance series ever. So I was just like a bit disappointed by Face Off. I just found it to be not the best. Like, it was alright. I gave it a 3.75 star, but it's basically this girl who's a hockey player gets drafted into the, I don't know what the hockey, NFL? Is that the hockey thing? And she's on a team with a load of men, which I just find a bit far-fetched, because like that doesn't happen in sport, does it? Like in professional sports you have women's teams and men's teams, so why would a random girl be going on the team? But that was like, I was just like, okay, well, let's roll with it. She's going to be the only girl on the team. And then she meets some guy on the team called, what's he called, Maverick, which, oh my god, tell me you're American without actually telling me you're American. Yeah, the MMC is called Maverick, and he's just a bit annoying. Like, he's just, I just think it was like Windy City, but not written as well. But I still want to continue the series, because everyone rants and raves about it, so it must just be me. And I was so excited about it, because that's just like, all that like sports romance stuff is like so up my street. Is untrue. I just love contemporary romance. It's just my favourite, and then I just love a sports one. But yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was, but yeah, I found it just to be a bit naff and cringe, and just the way they were speaking to each other didn't seem like how real people would speak to each other. But that's how I feel a lot of the time with romance. Like, they say some like outlandish, out of pocket things that just no one would actually say in real life, unless you're just someone who's really annoying. And no one would be like, oh, she's so fit for that, or whatever. Or like him, you wouldn't be attracted to someone who talks like he does. I don't think, personally. I can't remember what it was like. Oh, it was just like she arrives at the ice rink on her first day, and he assumes that she's a fan, and he's like, oh, like fan sections like over there, gorgeous or something. I can't even remember, but basically he's like flirting with this random woman who stood there and saying, oh, like assuming she's a fan. That just would never happen in real life, though. That would not happen in real life. Like, to be honest, I don't think, if I fucking turned up to arena, or a sports arena, and the sports player was there, I don't think they'd talk to me at all. Or if they did, they'd just be like, I don't think they'd be flirting. Like, I really just don't think that's professional. I know it's obviously far-fetched because it's a fucking contemporary romance, but yeah, I just don't think that. I prefer when it's just a bit more realistic than that. well, that's just something that's stuck in my head. There's probably other things as well. Just like, why are you like flirting with a random stranger? Like, I just don't think that would happen, but maybe it would. And then I read Conform by, I forgot what one. But basically it's a recently released dystopian romance, and I quite enjoyed it, to be fair. It's not similar to like Silver Elite, which is basically just like shit, you know what I mean? Like I feel like it had a bit more like to it than that, and it had a bit more plot. Oh dear, my battery was exhausted. But yeah, anyway, so I've read Conform, which is basically like a world where there's different, is the word factions? So there's like the normal people, the shit people, the god tier people, basically. I can't remember the names. I genuinely should be researching this, like, bruh. But you get the gist. So the main girl is here, and then there's it's a love triangle. There's a MMC up here and there's an MMC down here, and there's gonna be an uprising, and she gets paired with the man up here because, similar to Handmaid's Tale, they get paired with women to get pregnant and give them children. The god tier people, whatever they're called, the elites, that's what they're called. So yeah, she gets paired with an elite to kind of like an arranged thing, and then there's another guy down here who starts chatting to her as well and comes up to her and talks to her. But these guys, no one, like, they are brainwashed into thinking that the people down here are no bueno, like, do not go chat to them. And then an uprising happens and shit hits the fan, basically, and it's just a love triangle between the two MMCs, and I feel like not much has happened in the first book, but it's set up very well for the second book, where the uprising doesn't happen in this book, but like you can see it's like this stuff's gonna happen. And yeah, I'm actually gonna read the second one, the second one, because I actually really enjoyed it. I think I gave it like 4.25, and it reminded me in a weird way of The Ember in the Ashes, but I have no idea why. Like, I only ever read the first book from that series because I didn't like the second one, I DNF'd it, but the first one I loved. It was like a 5-star. I don't know why it reminded me of the vibes. I don't know if it was the balance between the romance and the plot, because it was very much like, even though it was a love triangle, there was more plot, I feel. Like, I was not asked remotely about the romance. I thought I didn't really root for either of them. But the plot was plotting, to be fair. And yeah, I'm excited for the next one because it kind of was like Handmaid's Tale. I know that's probably an insult to Handmaid's Tale, like the legendary classic, that I'm comparing it to a dystopian romance, but Handmaid's Tale, Ember in the Ashes, but I can't actually tell you why it reminds me of Ember in the Ashes. It just does. Just the vibes it gave me, it's just similar. And then obviously Hunger Games, but like the different like factions just reminded me of that. And then after that one I did read The Handmaid's Tale. This is going to be a testament to myself. I didn't like it that much, I know, but that's because of my own taste. Like, I am just not into, like, I'm not the sharpest tool in the shed, let's just put it that way. So Handmaid's Tale, I couldn't connect to it that much. I found it a bit boring, and I prefer the program because so much stuff happens in the program. It's so good. But this one was very much mundane, which I know is I know it is the entire point that it's mundane, because that's to show the repetition of the lives of the women. But yeah, basically everyone knows what the plot of the Handmaid's Tale is, but basically women that can get pregnant are very limited, and so there is the men, the women, the handmaids, who basically have to bear children for the wealthy and elite families who can't. It's basically like the women are just slaves, and it's really sad. They have no like life. They just have to, basically they have no life, and they're just controlled by the higher up people, and it's very disturbing, scary, to be fair. I found like the writing is very like eerie, and it's obviously very well written, hence why it's a modern day classic. And what I found the maddest was that it was written in 1980 something. How is it written in 1980 something? That is so ahead of the curve and still so relevant today, which is slightly concerning. But yeah, it was literally, I mean, I found it boring, but I know that that's the point. And I know that there's obviously meaning behind it. I'm not like disregarding that, like how important it is and what's an important story is. However, it just wasn't for me. I don't like reading stuff like that. I'd rather read escapism, you know what I mean? It was very, very dull and depressing. I like the ending of it though, because it kind of has like an open ending. Next one, Ricochet by Krista and Becca Ritchie. I don't know what's wrong with me, but I'm not understanding the hype around this series. Like, it's alright, and I want to carry on because everyone says it's like God tier, like Binding 13 level, like series, like, you know what I mean? Like, you connect so much to the characters and stuff, but I don't know what's wrong with me. I'm just really not connecting that well to it. I am going to continue the series because I think I prefer the other romances, and I did quite enjoy it. Like, it was a very small book, but the whole time the book is happening, the couple are in separate places. I'm not explaining why, but the couple are in separate places the entire time, basically. So, apart from the flashbacks. So, I just don't really care. Like, I just it's a kind of a nothing book, really. It was like 200 and something pages, and it was just a bit of nothingness. But I'm hoping like the next couples are better, because I don't know why everyone else is raving about it when I just don't find it that interesting. And also I find it a bit uncomfortable that she's like a sex addict. Like, I'm not judging anyone's like addictions or whatever, but for me personally, like, I just find it so strange. Like, if it was a man, if it was the MMC that was a sex addict, that would be really odd and strange. I don't know. So was taken out the story about because of that. Like, she'd be going to a party and she was like be drooling over these men because she's like a sex addict. So I'm like, if this was the other way around, like, I don't think this would run. So yeah, I don't know. It was a 3.5. I don't even know why it was a 3.5. I can't even remember much of it. Maybe at the time it was alright, but yeah, I'd probably say it's a 3 now. Like, 3.5 is a bit generous. Insatiable by Lee Rivers. I actually really enjoyed it. For some reason I've given it the same rating as Ricochet 3.5, but I way preferred it to Ricochet, so I mean, it's still like cringy and stuff, but I was expecting it to be way worse. It's a dark romance, and usually with dark romance I'm like, oh no, this is gonna cringe me out so bad. And it did slightly, but not to the extent of other dark romances. But everyone says like this is the dark romance series, like this is like the best dark romance series. I'm like, damn, I'm probably not gonna like dark romance then, because this one's just like a 3.5. Like, it was good. So if that's like the height of dark romance for me, then. But yeah, it's basically about this troubled boy who's like a psychopath. His dad's like a psychopath who's like in jail, and then he meets this girl and when they're young, and then he has an obsession with her. But I liked the like setting of it. I found the MMC really fit, to be fair. Like, obviously there was cringy moments, but yeah, I found it to be quite entertaining, and I enjoyed it. Obviously, like, dark romances, they're going to be far-fetched. They're probably going to be badly written. Not to be judgmental to the genre, but like, I'm not expecting any kind of Frederick Backman writing from a dark romance, if you know what I mean. But yeah, I enjoyed it for what it was. It was good. My sister's with the whole trilogy, and she told me that it just gets a bit batshit in the second and third, which I hate. I absolutely cannot stand when things just go too ridiculous, and then that'll just give me the ick with the characters, because I'm just like, shut up, just stop. The whole situation just makes me just think, shut up. But I know I'm being negative, but yeah, I don't know if I'm going to continue the series just because my sister was like, I don't think you're going to like the next books because it turns into a mausoleum, and I'd rather it just, oh, I just spat everywhere. I'd rather it just be just a bit more realistic to real life, even though obviously it's not that realistic, but I just don't want it to get too ridiculous. Unless it's like a fantasy, like in real life. Like, that's why I don't really like horror, because I'm like, that's never going to happen in real life. I'd rather it be a thriller or something, you know what I mean, where it's a real person committing crimes, because then it can happen in real life. Similar to like, my least favourite book of all time, I don't want to mention it again because I just keep slating it, but Fairy Tale, like, I hated that book because of how ridiculous it was. and so if the sequel to Insatiable becomes like that, then I don't know. Next one, Piranesi. I'm thick and I didn't understand it, so do not take my opinion to be gospel, because I know it's an amazing book, but for me it's a 2-star. I didn't get what was going on and I wasn't in the mood for it, and I'm not an intellectual, so I should have known I wouldn't like it. And I know Susanna Clarke does not need me to does not need my approval of her book, because she's probably probably love, she is much more intelligent than me, so I don't know, there's no point me even putting my 2 pence in, because I'm just thick as pig shit and I didn't know what was going on. So yeah, but basically it's about this guy called Piranesi, and he's stuck in this house in his head. He thinks he's stuck in this house. Well, he is in this house, and the house is like a magical house. There's loads of hallways and mad shit happening, floods and stuff. And then he's got another friend called the Other, and that's the 2 people in the house, and they just basically whimsical and like tomfoolery, like I don't know. I just didn't know what was going on, to be fair. And then obviously there's like a deeper meaning or something to do with the house, but I don't know what that deeper meaning was, because I didn't understand what was going on. I'd love for it to become a movie so I can watch it and kind of, I feel like if it was a film I would be able to visualise it more and understand what was going on. Next one, this kind of put me in a little bit of a slump because I loved it that much. Well, I loved the series that much, and who can guess, it's Heated Rivalry. The programme, yeah, it put me in a bit of a slump where I couldn't enjoy anything else other than that. So I read Heated Rivalry, and it's not as good as the series, of course, because the series is literally one of the best things I've ever seen. Like, that's so dramatic, but like, it's not often that I get obsessed with series like that. Like, I remember in Elite, I don't know why I like identify as like a gay man, but in Elite, the relationship between, I forgot what his name is, but in real life he's called Aaron Piper, and then I forgot even who was he with. Like, he was with someone in it, like a man in it, and I was like obsessed so badly. And then the same thing happened now where I'm obsessed with this couple. So yeah, I read the book because I couldn't even think about anything other than Ilya Rozanov, and Shane Hollander, but mainly Ilya Rozanov, and I just love them so much together. And I think what's so like good about like a gay romance like that is like, oh, just like the yearning. Like, I don't know, I just feel like there's an extra layer of like in their head, like they can't do it, so it's like so good, so good. Yeah, the yearning, like, mad. And I think if I read this book without watching the TV show, I'd be like, yeah, it was fine, it was good. I like how she writes the dialogue though, like she is really good at writing dialogue, but yeah, I think it's the way that it was brought to life. And then when I was reading it, I could obviously just envision the TV programme, because it's very much like similar to the show, to the book, sorry. So yeah, I rated it 4.5 stars because it's Heated Rivalry. I can't rate it any lower than that. But yeah, I think watching it was a better experience than reading it. And I would honestly say watch the show before you read it, because the show's better. People We Meet on Vacation, loved it. Why is that my perhaps favourite Emily Henry book? I mean, I've only read 3. I've only read that, Funny Story. Sorry, I didn't even explain what Heated Rivalry was, but everyone knows what it is anyway. So yeah, I've read People We Meet on Vacation, Beach Read, and Funny Story. I thought I was going to hate People We Meet on Vacation because I don't like Second Chance and I don't like Dual Timeline. I was wrong. I put it off for so long. Why was it my favourite one? Like, I preferred it to Beach Read, and I think it was at least on par with Funny Story, if not preferred it. And I was so pleasantly surprised. I was laughing out loud. Like, it's so funny. And yeah, and people say they don't like believe in the romance. How? How do you not believe in the romance? And I listened to a lot of it when I was packing for Australia. And the audiobook is narrated by what's she called, Julia, I forgot what her name is, the most famous audiobook narrator, whatever she's called, Julia something. And she delivered it really well. She narrates like some Taylor Jenkins Reid's ones as well. Yeah, she delivered the story so well. I was like lolling, like I forgot how funny Emily Henry books are. Yeah, I don't know, I feel like Beach Read I just didn't get as much, but I feel like I should. I was gonna shit myself, so I had to stop, but we're back. I'm literally nearly done now, so like, allow it, gee. But yeah, People With Me on Vacation, loved it, absolutely really loved it. It was really good and I loved it. Yeah, way underrated. Why does everyone say it's the worst one? Please can someone explain to me, Dad? So yeah, 4.25, but could be a 4.5. Like, I'm loving that. Like, I was laughing out loud. How rare is that? I rarely do that. Yeah, and I enjoyed it. I like them too, and I believed in their love. Unlike, I feel like a lot of people. So last but not least, Don't Let Him In by Lisa Jewell. I bloody loved this. It was so good. You literally couldn't get a bigger page turner you couldn't turn the page more if you tried. Like, it was so bingeable. I read it so quick, which is rare for me on holiday because usually I read like fucking nothing on holiday. But this one I read in like a few days just from bashing out because it was really addictive. I just found it to be so readable. I find Lisa Jewell's writing to be good, like, considering it's a thriller author. Like, compared to Freida McFadden, she's a better writer in my opinion. And maybe that's because she's English and not American, because I feel like Freida McFadden just is very, like, American. Nothing wrong with that though, but yeah, like Lisa Jewell, I just feel like her writing's better. So yeah, I really enjoyed that, and that was a 4-star. I don't know why it wasn't higher than that. I feel like just because it's a thriller and thrillers are never higher than that, but yeah, I found it to be really good. And you know what? Fuck Nick. Fuck Nick is what I've got to say. Yeah, fuck Nick. And that's not a spoiler. Fuck Nick. So yeah, I very much enjoyed that one. I had an amazing 2 months of reading, I'd say. Maybe not amazing, actually. I enjoyed a lot of the books that I read, and some of them were mid. I want to improve that though. Like, I don't know why I said I had an amazing one, because now I'm thinking about it, like, I didn't. I enjoyed like a few. I had 1 5-star, which I never have 5 stars, so like, not surprised by that at all. But yeah, my monthly TBR this month is huge. It's the 12th. I'm blaming the World War, to be fair, so I can't complain because there's people dying, bro. So I'm not complaining at all about that. Like, I'm trying to just embrace the fact that I did have to spend an extra 1,000 odd quid trying to get home. Now I'm behind in my reading. But I promise you there's worse things going on in the world. So yeah, I've still got 1, 2, 3, 8. Oh my god. Help me, I've got 8 books on my fucking monthly TBR. And it's the 12th. And I've just started one, so I'm 9. And I'm still halfway through Harry Potter. We go again next month. I'm literally so behind. Like, there's no way I'm going to be reading 8 books this month. It's the 12th and I've only read 2. Oh, but you've got to embrace this. It's not that deep. The world's got worse things going on in the world, and I'm just trying very hard not to complain about it all. I got an extra week in Australia, which is brilliant, and I hope the tan's popping. And yeah, I'm very excited to just get back on the drawing board and start reading. I'm gonna start throwing a glass. I might try tonight. I mean, I literally started Carrie Soto's back yesterday, but I don't know. I'm not in the mood for that right now, and I might just continue that on audio because I feel like it'll be really good on audio. And Harry Potter can wait. And yeah, I might start Assassin's Blade. I know it's like, I don't know which one to start with, but I think I'm going to start with Assassin's Blade. And yeah, I just hope I enjoy it because I watched Sarah J Maas's podcast, and why is she so lovely? Like, I really like her. I mean, I've read all of Hawthorns and Roses series, but apparently I've got to read all of the Massiverse before the next one comes out, so I better get to fucking work. So yeah, I might take Assassin's Blade to work and read it there because I'm a dosser. So yeah, I'm hoping for in the next 2 months some amazing reads, and I can't wait. Yeah, to be fair, my last read was amazing. That was a 4.5. I'll be updating that in the next 2 month reading wrap up, and yeah, I really enjoyed that. So starters with me to go on. Let's carry on loving reading, carry on loving my YouTube and sticking with it. I've got an Australia vlog coming if it ever downloads from the iCloud off my phone. That's what I'm a bit concerned about at the moment. But yeah, I'm very proud of myself for even filming this video after weeks and weeks of being off. And yeah, I'm excited to just get back to normal life. And you're repeating yourself now, love, so that's good. Yeah, so thanks so much for watching, and hopefully see you next Thursday. Well, definitely see you next Thursday. I don't know why I'm saying hopefully. Obviously, I'll be seeing you next Thursday, hopefully, if anyone wants to come back.